Shalom, Shalom, Israel. Shalom to the 12 tribes, Yahshua. Giving, of course, all honor and glory and praise unto the Most High, Yahweh, BAHASHAM, BAHASHIAK, YAHAWASHI. All right, that's all praises to the Heavenly Father, who the world calls God. In the name of His only begotten Son, Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, and He is the Savior of the nation of Israel. All right, so Shalom, Shalom. All right, to all the brethren and sisters in this truth, patiently waiting for the second coming of Mahashiach Yahushua, and is doing all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain salvation in Mahashiach Yahushua, right? So, in this video, about to get quick breakdown on the Most High rendering every man according to his work and according to his deeds, which he does on the earth, all right? So I'm gonna start it off with Revelation 22:12. It says, this is Yahushua talking, right? It says, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. So that reward, as you know, is not always talking about a good one. All right, there's bad rewards and there's good rewards. All right, even if you go to the archaic definition of reward, it will tell you, right? Receive what one deserves. Okay, so if you are wicked, right, you deserve destruction. But if you're righteous, you deserve salvation. All right, a return for good or bad behavior. So it's not always a good prize or a good, award. This is when the Most High or Yahushua says a reward is with him, to give every man according as his work shall be, meaning that, hey, whatever you put out on the earth, that's what you're going to get from the Lord, all right? And that's fair, that is fair, even in the eyes of men, right? But that's fair to the Most High. All right, let's go to Job chapter 34, verse 11. This is Job 34:11. For the work of a man shall he render unto him, and cause every man to find according to his ways. Right? So the Lord said that a work of a man shall he render unto him. So whatever you put out, right, your work, right, that's where you're going to get back from the Lord. And cause every man to find according to his ways, right? According to your ways, right? According to your doings. It says, yea, surely God will not do wickedly, neither will the Almighty pervert judgment. See that? So he will render us a recompense or reward according to our deeds that we put on the earth. All right? Let's go to Matthew 16:27. It says, for the Son of Man is come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then shall he reward every man according to his works. Right, so he says it again. He's going to reward every man according to his works. Your works is what you do on the earth. It's what you reap. Slack. It's what you sow. Right? Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. Right? It says, be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So even in this, slack. Right? Even from the words of Paul. Right? Whatever you sow, that's what you're going to get back, right? That's what you're going to get back. So if you sow wickedness, you're going to get wickedness you're going to receive evil from the Lord. But if you put out righteousness, you're going to receive a righteous reward. Plain as that, right? Let's go to Ephesians chapter 8 and verse 6. Oh, slack. 6 verse 8, slack. It says, knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive of the Lord, whether he be bond or free. So whatever you do good, hey, you're going to receive that of the Lord. You're going to get a good reward, right? But if you do bad, right, let's go to Colossians, right? Oh, slack here, right? Colossians 3 verse 8, I believe, right? Okay, that's not what I want. Colossians chapter 3 verse 25 says, but he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done, and there's no respect of persons. So if you do wrong, you're going to receive wrong back from you. It's the concept of karma. Okay, when you look up karma, all right, and this will be another video, going into this. I just want to load y'all up with some precepts right? Rendering every man according to his work, right? Talking about, whatever you put out, that's what you're going to get back, right? So karma, right? In Hinduism and Buddhism, the sum of a person's actions in this and previous states of existence viewed as deciding their fate in future existences. So informal definition will be destiny or fate, following as an effect from cause. Even when you look at the laws of so-called physics and life, they say to every action, right? To every action, there is an equal and opposite action, right? Newton's third law, right? We know that, it's kind of folly, but we can still use some stuff from this. It says, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. The statement means that in every interaction, there's a pair of forces acting on the two interacting objects. So it's really going into this. This is going into, the laws of motion, right? I don't know if you study physics, but, to know the laws of motions and stuff. But you can take that, right? To every action, there is a reaction, right? So, and there's not always an equal reaction, because that's not true. Because let's go to Revelation, right? Chapter 18. Let's get the instance of Babylon, right? Babylon has sowed a lot of wickedness on the earth, right? But let's see what they get. This is Revelation chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities." Who is the her? Let's go up. Verse 2. It says, "And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird." So Babylon the great is talking about America, right? Through the spirit, you will understand that, right? It's talking about America, okay? Let's just keep reading, right? Verse 3. "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication," right? "And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her." Every nation deals with Babylon, and Babylon the great has dealt with every nation on the earth, whether it be by trading, right? Buying or selling, investments, dealing on an economic standpoint, or even a philosophical standpoint. America spreading its democracy all over the place, right? White supremacy, Christianity. So that's how these nations deal with America. Everybody wants to come to America, right? It's a main attraction. It says, "And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." Because there's America is full of the abundance, right? A lot of delicacies, right? Verse 4 again, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities." So the Most High still remembers the iniquities of America, the iniquities of Babylon the Great, right? AKA what? Let's look at a few examples, right? Slavery, right? And when we look this up, it didn't just happen to Judah, all right? It didn't just happen to Judah, all right? You so-called blacks, right? These were your forefathers and foremothers, but it didn't just happen to Judah, right? Slavery in America, it also happened to the natives, right? The Native Americans, man. All right, so hey, these people are related. All right, these people are related. All right, you got Northern Kingdom and you got Southern Kingdom. But hey, Northern Kingdom also went into slavery and got massive genocide, right? And it's not just that. America has so many iniquities and sins that they need to pay for, right? But let's keep going. That's just two examples, right? Verse 6. "Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her a double according to her works." So it's according to her works, right? "And the cup which she hath filled to her double." So the affliction that we received, that the world received, that when I say the world, I mean all nations and the word of Israel that we have received from Babylon, that cup is going to be passed onto Babylon 2 times as much. So it's not always an equal reaction to everything, right? It's not always equal. It can be, like a slap, right? And then a slap harder, all right? In this case of judging Babylon the Great, is going to be a harder slap, all right? 2 cups instead of 1 cup of affliction, right? So now, okay. So now that we, kind of dealt with that through the Spirit, let's go through some more precepts. This is Jeremiah chapter 32 and verse 18, right? Or it might be 19. Jeremiah 32 and 19. I'm going to start at verse 18. It says, Thou showest loving kindnesses unto thousands, and recompensest the iniquity of the fathers into the bosom of their children after them. The great God, the mighty God, the Lord of hosts is his name. Great in counsel and mighty in work. For thine eyes are upon all the ways of the sons of men, to give every one according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. Right? So the Most High is going to give back, right, or restore, give a reward to every man according to his works, according to his fruit, according to his laboring, according to his deeds, his actions, right? Let's go to Romans chapter 2. This is Romans chapter 2 and verse, I'm going to start at verse 5. But after thy hardness and penitent heart treasures up unto thyself wrath against the day of wrath and revelation and the righteous judgment of God, who will render to every man according to his deeds. So again, right, the Lord will render every man according to his deeds, right? Let's go to Isaiah 59 and 18. Slack here. Isaiah 59 and 18. Isaiah 59 and 18. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. So according to their deeds, again, accordingly he will repay fury to his adversaries. So it's according to your deeds, according to your deeds, according to your works. It's the same thing. A deed, an action that is performed intentionally or consciously. An act, an action, performance, achievement, effort, enterprise, right? That's what a deed is, an action or performance, okay? Every man according to his actions. So let's go to 1 Corinthians 5 and 10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. So we're all going to appear before the judgment seat of YAHAWASHI when he comes back, right? Because we already know that we're not going to be waiting in a line, right, ready to be judged. We're going to be judged on the earth, right? We'll be judged on the earth, and a lot of people to everlasting contempt, meaning, the lake of fire, or a Lord's will, if you're an Israelite, keeping the commandments, keeping the faith, right, that you also may be able to be saved, right, unto everlasting salvation, right? So right, I think that was all the precepts that, okay, I think, yeah, there's one in Proverbs, right? This is Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 12. It says, If thou sayest, Behold, we knew it not, doth not he that pondereth the heart consider it? That's the Most High. And he that keepeth thy soul, doth he not know it? Right? Because the Most High, he knows everything, right? And shall not he render to every man according to his works? Again, so we can find it in various books, in the prophets, in the wisdom, right? In the according to YAHAWASHI, right? According to Revelation, again, right? According to the Apostle Paul, that the Most High would judge every man according to his work, right? But the Most High, he's also going to deal with these nations as a whole, right? It's also, according to the word, but it's also in the national standpoint. Like for instance, Esau, they're all going to be destroyed, right? They're all going into slavery, right? Because let me just get one more precept to support that. So the Most High, he deals with nations. He judges the nations and also individually. It's Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So the Lord said every one of them. He didn't say just someone, right? Some of them could be saved. Some of them, some of them, run into slavery. It says every one of them, right? Let's also get Acts. Actually, this is Genesis chapter 15 and verse 13. And he said, oh, slop. It says, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs. Talking about Egypt, right? The Israelites being in Egypt, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. This is talking about Egypt, like ancient Egypt, not talking about actual slop. Not talking about the new Egypt. It's not talking about our captivity here. All right, because it's already been past 400 years, so it can't be talking about it, right? Verse 14, and also that nation. So the Lord said that nation, not just the people, not just some people, right? But the nation whom they shall serve will I judge, right? So the Lord said that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. So he didn't say, because we know that the Most High, he doesn't change. All right, let's go to flip another one. It's Malachi chapter 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob were not consumed. Right? So the Lord, he doesn't change. Right? He doesn't change. Simple as that. This is James chapter 1, verse 11. Not 11. Verse 17. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. Variableness means what? Let's look that up. The quality of being subject to variation. What does that mean? Changeability, changeableness. The quality of being changeable. So the Most High, YAHAWAH, that's perfect right there. He cannot change, okay? Or he doesn't change. We'll put it like that. He doesn't change, all right? So it says, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. So, and we already know that we're going to come out of Babylon with the skin of our teeth. That's what it says in Job. Okay, I will say with this by the skin of my teeth. We know that you don't even have any skin on your teeth. So it's talking about ancient Egypt. But the thing is, the point I wanted to get out of that is that the Most High judged the whole nation of Egypt, not just a few people. He judged the whole nation. He brought the whole nation of Egypt down. And likewise, this Babylon the Great, America, this whole nation is going to be brought down to the ground. Right? BAHASHAM, right? So the Lord, of course, yes, he does judge individually, but also we have to take in mind he also judges by nations, whole nations, like Ezekiel. Okay, for example, Ezekiel was literally born into slavery, right? He was a slave. He was in captivity, but yet he was still a righteous man, right? Ezekiel 1:1, now it came to pass in the 30th year, in the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives. See that? By the river Kebar, that the heavens were open, and I saw the visions of God. In the 5th day of the month, which was the 5th year of King Joachim's captivity, right? So yes, during this time was during the Babylonian captivity, I believe, all right? So yeah, Lord willing, this was edifying. Salak, let me just get one more precept. This is Psalms 62:12. Also unto thee, O Lord, belongeth mercy, for thou renderest to every man according to his work. All right. So with that, I'd like to give all honor and glory and praise again unto Yahweh, BAHASHAM, Yahweh. All right, Baraka Deha, Baraka Deha. Lord's will, this was edifying. Lord's will, you were able to take some notes and get, build up your arsenal, right, in these last days. So with that, Israel, I'd like to say Shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah.